Hey, I'm Chef Rich, a classically trained chef, author, and award-winning culinary educator. With over 2 decades of experience, I've discovered that food is more than just food. It's our greatest medicine. But here's the truth. There is no quick fixes, magic pills, superfoods, or diets that work. Welcome to a different kind of cooking show. Our mission? To inspire, educate, and prove that getting healthy doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. I'll share tips on saving you money at the grocery store, saving you time in the kitchen, and creating meals that everyone will eat. I'll expose the lies about food, reduce the stress about what's for dinner, and remove the struggle of getting healthy. If you give me a chance, I promise, we'll always make it fun, easy, and delicious. Now let's get cooking. Hey, I'm Chef Rich, and welcome to One Plate Kitchen, where we save you money at the grocery store, save you time in the kitchen, and make delicious meals that are easy, fun, and healthy. Today, we're making a shrimp stir fry with a twist. What is the twist, you ask? We're using a brown red rice. Now let's introduce the stars of this show, our ingredients. So today, we have our beautiful twist, which is also our star ingredient. So we have a brown and red rice. Now we're using our beautiful shrimp. We have our spinach. We have an egg. Now I know you're like, what are you gonna be doing with that egg? I'm gonna show you the coolest way to introduce eggs to this dish that you've seen on TV, but I'm gonna show you how easy it is to do it. We have a beautiful green onion, also known as scallion. We have a dry spice ginger, which is a powerhouse of nutrition. Oh, look at this. We also have our amazing world famous herb salt. We have some fresh garlic. We have mushrooms. We have our frozen friends. All right, our frozen friends today is gonna be like a mixed vegetable, which is great because it gives you a lot of different flavors and textures. We have some soy sauce, and then we have our white onion. Now, since you know all our ingredients, let's get cooking. Now, the first thing we're gonna start with is our shrimp. And the reason I wanna start with the shrimp first is I just wanna give it a little bit of color, and then we're gonna take it out. So it's still gonna be kind of raw in the middle. So I wanna get my shrimp, and the first thing I want to do with it is I want to cut it up into smaller pieces. You can easily serve one whole piece if you want, but I like to save money. So what I'm going to do is just cut them in half. All right, now I turn one piece into two. All right, so I'm just going to, now you can cut them in thirds if you wanted to. If they were really big, you can cut them in thirds, but we're just going to cut these in half. All right, so I'm just going to take this, cut these in half, get these going. And then we're going to season these up with some herb salt. And we're also going to add some ginger to this too. It gives it incredible flavor. And again, ginger is a powerhouse of nutrition. Now, if you didn't want to use the dry ginger, you can easily add fresh ginger. Totally up to you. A little bit more work and a little bit more cutting that you have to do, but you can definitely add that to it. So now I have my shrimp all cut up. I'm going to add my herb salt to it. I'm going to get that seasoned up nicely. Maybe just a little bit more. Then I'm going to add some of the ginger. And I don't want to be too stingy with the ginger. I love the flavor of ginger that it gives it. It's very, very unique. So I'm going to add that to it. Now all I'm going to do is just mix this up. I don't want to make sure it gets all incorporated nicely. It's all in there. Now what I'm gonna do is add a little bit of oil to my pan. Now again, if you've seen this show, you know we only need about a tablespoon of oil in there. My pan, just like we always talk about the golden rule, is hot. So I want to make sure that oil just spreads around in there. Now I'm gonna add my shrimp to this. And again, you want to make sure you hear that noise. Now I'm just going to spread these out a little bit. One or 2 minutes on each side. Now while that's going, I'm going to get this area cleaned up. And I'm also going to wash my hands. Remember, raw protein, wash your hands well. my goodness, I wish you could smell this because that ginger smells incredible. Now I'm just gonna go in and just give them a little bit of a stir. All right, now again, I don't really want to cook this all the way. I just want to kind of just get it going a little bit. All right, now while that's going, I'm going to start working on my onion because the onion is going to be the next thing that goes into this. You'll see with these kind of dishes, they go really, really fast. So you want to make sure you have everything ready to go because you just want to go one step to the other step to the other step to be done pretty quickly. I'm going to say my shrimp, I know, is not cooked all the way. It still could use like a couple minutes, but that's okay. I'm gonna get my onion cut up here. So I have a white onion we're using in this one. So again, we just make our slice. And put that back together. Make our slice. And then we're just gonna chop this up. What size? Again, totally up to you. What size you would wanna make it. I'm just gonna add this all together. Now I know my shrimp isn't cooked all the way yet, but I want to take it out and start moving on. So what I'm going to do is just get my shrimp out and just put them in my little bowl. Now again, we're definitely going to let it cook more, but with shrimp, they can overcook very, very quickly. And if they overcook, then they become tough, and I don't want them to be tough and chewy. I want them to be really, really soft and delicate and tender. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is add my onions to this. Same pan. I don't need to really do anything to it. I'm just gonna add my onions to it, but I will turn it down a little bit. And I'm just gonna give this a stir. Okay, that's looking good. So I'm gonna let this go for a minute. I'm gonna add a little herb salt to that. Now, we're also gonna add mushrooms to this. I love using mushrooms in dishes. They're full of vitamins and minerals. But the only thing that I can't stand with some of these mushrooms is when you buy them, they have these big chunks that we have here. Right? I don't want these big chunks. I want them to be cut smaller. So we're just gonna take our knife and just chop them up a little bit. Right, there's nothing worse than getting a big chunk of mushroom in there that some of it is cooked, some of it is not cooked. I want to make sure I chop them up. Now we don't have to go too crazy. We don't have to make them too small. Just like that, perfect. Again, I want to get back over here, look at my onions. And say, oh my goodness, they smell incredible. Now I'm going to start to get my mushrooms in there. Now you'll see when you add your mushrooms to it, mushrooms are like 75 to 80% water. All right, so as this cooks, you're going to see a lot of moisture start to come out. It's not a bad thing. You didn't do anything wrong at all to it. All right, but what we want to do is just let it continue to cook. And what will happen is all that moisture, as it cooks, will start to evaporate. The more it evaporates, the more flavor we're going to get out of it. So we're just gonna kind of spread it out a little bit. And we'll just let it do its thing. I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit and just let it go. Now, we also have that egg, which I'm gonna show you what to do with that next. But before that, let's get to our garlic because we wanna get our garlic in there next. So I like mine pretty garlicky. So I'm gonna add 3 pieces in there. Now the best way, I mean, what we could do is we could take this and slice each piece, or we could just take it and kind of run our knife through it. We can do that if we wanted to. That's totally up to you. I'm going to show you an easier way of doing it, where all we're going to do is take it, put it at kind of the edge of the board. You're going to take your knife, put it right on top of it, and then just take all your aggression out on your garlic, and you're just going to smash it. So that person that cut you off today, the bad day that you had at work, you're just gonna take it all on your garlic and just give it a smash. All right, kids are aggravating you. Just really just go at it and allow your garlic to take the brunt of your frustration. All right, now once we get it there, what we're gonna do is take the spine of the knife. Remember, the flat edge is the spine of the knife. I'm gonna put that on the board. I'm gonna grab a little piece of it, crush it, then I'm gonna drag it and then push it back up. Grab a little bit more, crush it, drag it, and do the same thing for the whole thing. And what you'll see is that garlic will start to get really oily, which is beautiful. We want all that oil. All right, you can see the board starts to get really oily. Now we have to be careful that we don't go too far with this, because what will happen is I can keep on going and going and going, and my garlic will disappear. Now the bad thing about that is you'll have no garlic in your dish. Your board will taste amazing because your board has all that delicious oil in there, but your customer or your family won't be happy because they won't have any garlic in that dish. All right, so we can do it that way, or we can just take your knife and just run through it this way. We're just gonna chop that up, and then that's it. Our garlic is done. And you'll see one of the classic flavor profiles of like a stir fry is gonna be like your garlic and your ginger. All right, once they come together, they make an incredible dish. So if you haven't used it before, I promise you, you're going to love it. All right, so our onions look great. We're starting to get some nice color in that. Our mushrooms are looking beautiful. Now I'm just gonna give this a stir. Now, if you've seen the show before, you know we always talk about garlic and how long we should cook garlic for. All right, we only cook garlic until aroma. So once I add my garlic to it, and I can smell that aroma as it's coming out there, I know, perfect, it's time to move on to the next step and add whatever my next ingredient is. If I leave it here and I let it go and let it go and let it go, what'll happen is that aroma or that kind of beautiful garlic smell will start to fade away. And what's happening there is that oil, that really sensitive oil that we got here, is starting to dissipate and go lower and lower and lower and start to go away. So we want to be careful with that. So I'm just gonna give this a little stir. And you can see, oh my goodness, it smells amazing. Now at this point, I have my frozen friends here, and we're just gonna start to drizzle our frozen friends in. And the reason why I want to add these in a little bit earlier is because they're frozen. I don't want them to have some time to thaw out. So we're just gonna cook this a little bit. And again, you don't need to do anything crazy. You don't have to throw this in your microwave and try to cook them in your microwave at all. Or just let it cook in there and you'll see it'll start to get warmer and warmer and warmer. And then your vegetables will actually start to cook and thaw right here in the dish, which is great. All right, so we're gonna let this go a little bit more. Now, will it draw down the temperature? Of course. It's definitely gonna drop down the temperature of your pan. So to compensate for that, all we're gonna do is just turn up the heat a little bit more. Now we also have some spinach that we're gonna throw in there. So I'm gonna take my spinach, and it looks like a lot. If you've used spinach before, I'm sure you've seen how low it goes once you add it. All right, so we're gonna just roll up all the spinach. And all I'm gonna do is take this and just give it a little slice. I just wanna run my knife through it. I want every person who eats this, every family member, to get some beautiful spinach in there. All right, you can see how like falling apart and leafy it is. That's great, that's what we want. Now when I sprinkle it all over, it's gonna be incredible and everybody will get some. All right, this is smelling amazing. All right, so we'll let that go in there. All right, now I have my rice, I have my spinach left, and then we have our shrimp. Now this is going nicely. I know this is almost done. So what I want to do here is I'm going to add my shrimp back in. All right, so I'm going to take my shrimp. So we got that mixed in. Hey, Chef Rich here, and I hope you're enjoying the show. Today I want to talk about our star ingredient, rice. Not just any rice, specifically red and brown rice. Now, red rice is a type of whole grain. Now, that red color, it comes from an anthocyanin, and that's a type of antioxidant that's found in blueberries and other dark-colored fruits and vegetables. Now, it can lower high cholesterol, it can help prevent heart disease, it can lower your blood glucose, it lowers the risk of obesity, it's good for bone health, and it's rich in fiber. Now, brown rice contains phenols and flavonoids. Now, these are a class of antioxidants that help protect the body from oxidative stress. So what's oxidative stress? Oxidative stress is associated with a number of health conditions, including heart disease, certain types of cancers, premature aging, as well as inflammation in the body. Now, before we go back to the kitchen, let me leave you with this. You can get healthy if we focus on today and right now. Forget about the past and don't worry about tomorrow. Let's walk this journey together. Now let's get back to the kitchen. Now I'm just going to let that sit in there for a minute. Now what we have here is our brown and red rice, which is a beautiful brown and red rice. Now, this is cold. We had it a couple days ago. We put it in the refrigerator so it started to dry out. That is the best time to make any kind of fried rice. All right, rule number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is this. Whenever you're doing a stir fry, it is always best to use day-old, 2-day-old rice. Never use fresh rice when you're making any kind of stir fry. It doesn't work, it'll fall apart on you. All right, but when we're using older rice that's already dry, what'll happen is it'll absorb a lot of these flavors. It'll absorb some of the liquid that we're putting in there, and it's gonna give you the best stir-fried rice you've ever had. All right, so we're just gonna mix this up. It smells incredible. I'm just gonna add a little bit of seasoning to this. Then I'm gonna add my rice into this. And I'm just gonna start mixing this up. All right, this is smelling incredible. Okay, this is good. Just lowered the heat on here, so now I'm just gonna let this heat up. The rice will absorb, as it heats up, will absorb any moisture that's in this pan, which is beautiful, and it'll take on that flavor. So that's good. Now I'm just gonna cover this with my spinach. I'm gonna get all my spinach in there. We don't wanna waste anything. All right, we're also gonna get my green onion in here. Now for these green onions, all we're gonna do is cut these bottom pieces off, just like that. Let me get rid of that. Now I'm gonna cut this on a bias. So I'm gonna move over a little bit and just start cutting it like this. All right, the reason I just like it looks better when it's cut on a bias. All right, some people only use the whites. I'm paying for everything, so I want to use everything. There's a ton of flavor in these dark green pieces that I definitely want to use. All right, so cut that all up. Now, because these are so delicate, this is gonna be the last thing I throw in there. I'm gonna put my green onion in last. Now I'm just gonna start to mix this up nicely, gently fold this in. All right, well, we're just gonna fold this in. Now the next thing we're gonna add, which is gonna be the coolest part of doing any kind of stir fry. And that's gonna be to add the egg. Now, if you didn't want to add the egg, of course you don't have to. It's totally up to you. I think it tastes amazing when it has egg in there, and it looks a little bit more kind of classic, and it looks cool, when you have the egg in there, because all your friends will ask you, well, how'd you do that? How'd you do that? And then you can be like, well, I'm not going to tell you because it's a secret. So now I'm going to grab one of my bowls. What I'm going to do is crack my egg into it. I'm just gonna whip my egg up. And we just wanna make sure there's no more white in there, the albumin. We just wanna make sure it's mixed up like if I was doing a scrambled egg. All right, I got it all mixed up. Looks perfect. We can even add a little bit of seasoning to this. Mix this up. Now once I get that done, all I'm gonna do is kind of make a hole in the middle. You can see I take my pan, I'm gonna move everything out to the edges. All right. Not gonna add any fat to it. Sometimes you can add a little bit of fat to it if you want. Then I'm gonna add my egg to this. And I don't wanna mix it in. The only thing I wanna do is just start scrambling my egg right here. But I don't wanna mix it in yet. I just wanna scramble my egg. So we'll just mix our egg in. You can see egg cooks pretty quickly. And you'll get some spinach in there, you'll get some other stuff in there, that's fine, it's not a problem at all. But we'll just mix this in. You wanna make sure your egg is completely cooked though. So we'll just get this all whipped in. So all I'm gonna do is slowly just start incorporating it with everything else. And I just start mixing everything in there now. Now if you wanted more egg in there, obviously you can add maybe 2 eggs in there if you wanted to. If you were doing like a bigger dish, maybe you could do 3 eggs in there if you wanted to. But all we're gonna do is just mix this up now. So we have that all mixed up. That's looking good. Now you can't have a stir fry really without a little bit of soy sauce. So we're just gonna add a little soy sauce to this. And I'm just gonna stir this in now. Or you're gonna see it's gonna take on that darker color, which is nice, it's not bad at all. But we don't wanna mask the color of everything else, so we don't wanna drown this in soy sauce. All right, we're just adding it as a flavor, not as a sauce. All right, so we don't want it to be like really heavy in there where we see liquid at all. All right, we just want it to be really flavorful. And the last thing we throw in there is we're gonna sprinkle our green onion in there. And again, we wanna make sure we get everything in there. All of our green onion goes in there. We give this a stir. Just make sure it's all incorporated well. And that's it. We're just gonna wipe this down. And then we're just gonna serve a beautiful stir fry with mixed vegetables, green onion, shrimp. Oh, that looks incredible. That looks so incredible. I love it. Garlic, ginger, shrimp, a little bit of soy, good. Flavor, incredible. And you'll see with that brown and red rice, the texture is amazing. I promise you, when you taste it with these brown and red rice, you'll never want it with anything else. Now come on, it doesn't get any easier than this, all right? If we work together, getting healthy and feeling better doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. I promise. We'll always make it fun, easy, and delicious, and we'll do it one plate at a time. I'll see you next time. It smells incredible. Are you tired of eating the same old boring meals every day? Do you want to learn how to cook delicious and healthy meals that nourish your body and your soul? Then look no further than our One Plate Cooking Club. With our weekly live interactive classes, you can bring the cooking experience right into your own home kitchen. Join me and learn easy to follow tips and techniques that'll transform your cooking skills. Gone are the days of struggling to follow complicated recipes. With me by your side, you'll learn to create mouth-watering dishes that are both nutritious and delicious. And the best part? You can do it all from the comfort of your own home using any mobile device. By joining our One Plate Cooking Club, you'll not only expand your culinary skills, but you'll save money at the grocery store and save time in the kitchen. Imagine being able to whip up a healthy and delicious meal in no time, all while using food as medicine to support your journey to better health. Now, this is an experience that will inspire positive change in your life. So say goodbye to unhealthy fast food and takeout, and hello to homemade meals that'll leave you feeling satisfied and energized. With our club, achieving the healthy results you want has never been easier. So why wait? Join our One Plate Cooking Club today and embark on a culinary journey to health and wellness. Your taste buds and your body will thank you. So go to our website to learn more and to sign up for your favorite class today.